What's going on? How y'all doing? So the vaccine got shipped off to England first yesterday, which usually never ever happens. Usually other countries get things first. So it's off there. And I saw Boris Johnson's press conference and he had the CDC and the doctors talk and everything like that. He was kind of flippity floppy like he usually is. He make it sound like everything by the spring, but then yet he still has to limit it to phasing. And why he said the pubs and restaurants have to be closed. There's so many unanswered questions. How they will be, how they would adhere to. The dangerous side is that when you're the first of anything, all eyes is on you. So if England does well with it, then it'll be kind of like a sigh of relief. But if there is any kind of blow up or it lights back up in their face, and the whole thing with Pfizer and the degrees, and they were talking about the Oxford University that has a their own vaccine where they were saying that you can put it in fridges as opposed to the Pfizer. So how all this manifests, how it all goes out, how it all plays out will be interesting. But he was being overwhelmed as usual. It's kind of funny. Him and Trump are a lot alike, but when it comes to like these press conferences, he doesn't go front and center. He kind of like looking around for some help or something to make sense. But will it really make a difference? You're the first, second country, however it is. The key is going to be how it's administrated and the reaction from people and where it goes. So, there's a lot of pros and cons to the whole thing, side effects, quarantine, how different countries will legislate it, how it will offset, what would it be like. To me, it's like fool's gold. I'm not a fan of it because I don't trust none of these governments, and it's found funny. The British government, I found out, even though they have some of the best medical situations in the world as far as like what they're offering for them taking care of the people, 1 in 5 Brits ain't feeling going to no vaccine, and I'm sure it's the same case in the states because it looks like a conspiracy theorist that you rushing something out and you have all these deaths and all these cases and so soon, and you got to wonder what will that mean short term but long term, what will that mean, and people who really don't need it but they're being be forced to have to do it to go travel to go do this. So what will that mean? What are they not selling, what they're not saying, and why are they trying to sell it like this? So it's a lot of unanswered questions. I'm a firm believer the closest thing to so-called normality of what you kind of remember probably in 2022, because I think next year, the spring, the weather's gonna play a big part. And again, it's gonna be one of them 6 to 8 months kind of procedures, like if people take it, how they react, what their situation is like, and then where do you go from one dose to the next. So it's a lot of wait and see with everything. And but the worst thing that can happen is if you tell people, "Oh, we got it over here." It's kind of like if the Brinks truck pulls up and you don't work, you told you're gonna get paid, and you got to go out there and work, but the money's sitting there. You're gonna gravitate towards the money. Well, people are gonna gravitate towards the vaccine and drop the mask. So you gotta be very careful. This is a very dangerous situation proposition. Someone's better off if you don't say nothing, and then you slowly ushering people to taking it. So we're gonna see how this all plays out. But what do you think about England being the first country to get the vaccine? Also, what do you think the ramifications and what do you see? And are you for taking it or are you against it? And also, um, just looking at everything that's involved, what do you foresee as far as how soon you think people will kind of get to so called normality? I'm going to think it's going to be more like 2022. I think this is going to be a wait and see it out because you got to go through the roughness of the winter. You got to get to the spring and the summer. And by the time you start taking it, you got to see if there's any effects. I'm a firm believer that it'll probably be a year after next that things will kind of calm down. But if it don't, it's a dangerous president because they're pushing they're pushing this agenda, but then we need to know what it means in the big picture. So give me your thoughts and your takes. Hit the like and subscribe. Wash your hands, keep your mind clear, watch out for one another, and the vaccine is going to be a word that's going to be around no matter what places you are in the world. How you feel about it, where you stand on it. It's a very triggering, controversial, divisive, polarizing subject. Let's talk about it. Peace.